Hey, y'all, what's up? So, I don't know. Excuse my bonnet. I'm about to take it out because it's been in a bonnet all day. I even wore it to work with a hat on top because um it was warm outside earlier and then it was raining supposedly, and I blew my hair out on Wednesday. I don't even know if it's still straight, but the pins are like, and I can't keep it up. So, but anyways, excuse me. I tonight's show was good. I'm gonna say, oh, Justin Timberlake did Tiny Desk 10 hours ago. Sorry, y'all, I'm on YouTube. I'm over here about like, okay, when I get done with this video, I'm gonna watch Dish Nation, maybe watch a React video if I like it, but Tiny Desk just popped up on my thing. So this is why I used to say, I was saying I think it needs to be 3 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours on SmackDown, but now I'm saying between the Rumble and WrestleMania, it needs to be 2.5 to 3 hours, because people like my man's The Rock always extends his time and cuts other people's stuff short. So we get great promo with him, but we lack great matches with the other people. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. So if Raw been 3 hours, people can have more time to wrestle. Also, Cody and Seth's promos don't last as long, I don't think. I don't think they do. I think I clocked the time that they did the recap of last week. That's always 4 minutes, so 8:04. And then the time he got done his promo and they cut everything else, it was 8:22, 18 minutes. So 9 times out of 10, he went 3 to 8 minutes over, which cut either probably another female situation, which is crazy because it's Women's History Month. It's March. So I hope ain't no other women had no match tonight. Like, I hope it wasn't a match with like Bianca or Michin or Tiffany, even though them trying to push her over to me is still kind of crazy, like they did Pretty Deadly. Who else? Naomi, anybody. Like, we should not be cutting out the women. I know it's WrestleMania. That's what I loved last year, because Women's History Month, we had 3 segments of promos and a match all together. So if it was like 6 things coming out, we had 3. So like if the men had 2 matches and then like they show backstage something, a promo, or like Paul would do a promo, then they would have like a segment of a woman in the ring, one of them showing something behind the scenes, and then a match, or 2 matches in it. Like, it was even. And it was Women's History Month. Like, we need that. Okay, these pins is irking my nerves. Hold on. We need that. We need the 2.5, 3 hours. And Raw gives that to us. Oh, there is, especially this one. I don't know. Yeah, this pin is hurting. But we need that. First of all, The Rock came out. They screamed, and then I forgot where we were. And he had nothing bad to say about them. So yeah, this is the one right here. He came out. Then I was like, and because his music has changed a little bit, and I said, oh, okay. I said, it's kind of giving the one he had in the 90s when he used to be like, The Rock says, know your role, but he's not as loud in the background. I think I only did like once or twice. Ooh. I got any more? Yeah, I got one right here. And he came out with the music. First of all, the lighting and stuff, I don't know if that's the background or if that's production with the graphics, but listen, I love it. And if somebody was like, it's giving Black Adam, I was like, okay. But promo was crazy. So, yeah, so it was interesting because of the song, and then he had the guitarist from is it War and Treaty, right? To come out. And then he had a local Memphis, I think, rapper come out and commentate on his stuff. So sorry y'all, I have to let my hair down for a little bit. I cut it and everything, blew it out and cut it. But so yeah, he had the song and all that. First he was like, finally, The Rock has come, my pardon me straight. He was like, The Rock is come home. So then people were like, how many homes does he have? You know, because he always says he's home in certain cities. And I was like, well, I used to watch his show faithfully. I was upset that it got canceled for whatever reason. Because I would forget to watch it when it came out on TV. But when it came out on Hulu the next day, I would watch it. Like last year, was it last year or 2 years ago? So like during that time his show came out, I was watching his religiously. I was watching the Keenan show religiously. I was watching Call Me Cat religiously. And then they had a show that they were testing out for the fall called Ordinary Gym or something like that, when it was like him having 3 different lives. That was a good show, and I'm mad it didn't even get picked up. But anyways, I told him, I said, from watching this show, I think he had like 4 or 5 hometowns. I said he had Miami. I said he had Hawaii. I was like, he had Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And then he had Memphis and Nashville, even though they're 2.5 hours apart. Because he went to both. Or he lived in both for a little bit. And I was like, at first you were like, oh, that's kind of weird. But then now as you get older, you were like, that's no different from someone moving a lot because of their job, or somebody being in the military, or something like that. Like, if that's where you found connection with, and if various parts of your life happen during those time periods, you have every right to call it home. Like for me, my home, of course, is the DMV. I spent the first part of my life there into my teens before we moved to North Carolina. And then after I graduated, I left, got up out of here and went somewhere else in North Carolina and went to A&T. Moved to Nashville, Tennessee, and then moved to the Orlando area, Castleberry, Winter Springs, like to this day, and then moved back to North Carolina. If I were to call any place home, it would be, of course, the DMV. And it would be 407 Orlando, because I feel like that was the first place outside of where I was born and grew up with family and stuff that felt like home to me. Like how Tyler Perry talked about in the past, his he grew up in New Orleans. His promised land is Atlanta, so he ended up, even though he was poor here, he knew this was where he needed to be. So he ended up coming back, doing the studio, getting this huge house. Like, I feel like Orlando might be my promised land. It's other cities in my mind, but for now, Orlando is one of them. But yeah, like, he came out, then he did his little song. He had the little music stand and stuff with his lyrics and stuff like that they was playing. And then he had him playing in the background, Warren Treaty was in the audience. And then he brought up Cody and Cody's Crybabies and his mama and John Morant. And that was the heel part. And Seth not even being a bigger star in his house. And it was just funny. To me, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, that's crazy. the song to me was wild. I was like, he out of pocket with this song. The song was so crazy to me. I didn't even pay attention to that vest until he walked away. I was like, what is going on with these vests? Like, why? What is happening? Okay, and then it's honestly not the vest. I feel like it's because he's so brolic, and then he's tatted underneath that it kind of looks weird for some people. Like, to me, it's fine. It's just hilarious because I remember watching him when I was younger. But like, to some people, they're like, they absolutely hate it. And then when he backed away and gave the mic back, I was like, that daggone necklace is shining, okay? Like, it's crazy. My whole thought was like, I wonder how much time he went over. Whose match was he going to cut out or cut short. And all that. Like, it's just crazy to me that this is what is happening. Like, in 2024. This was crazy to me. Then I just realized, I was like, so from Friday to Sunday, y'all got me in the chokehold, because I'm like, if I was there, I probably would have went to a GCW event. I'm not gonna hold you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Shayna, they announced that she's wrestling on a Thursday at the event in Philly. I have a lot of independent people come there. They had Wale Mania, and if I was there, I would have went to that. I ain't gonna, because, you know, Wale from where I'm from. And then we knew about him since before he even became a main artist. And then like, I would have probably bought the tickets to WrestleMania, and if I couldn't, I would have probably went to Monday Night Raw after, depending on what day I came in. But I was like, Friday y'all gonna have me watch SmackDown. Then after SmackDown, of course, I'm watching the Hall of Fame induction thing. Like, Paul Heyman is one of my favorites. Like, one of my favorites. I watched a little bit of ECW, I will say. I honestly watched more of ECW than I did maybe of WCW until I figured out who Sting was. Then I started watching WCW. Other than Sting, I ain't care to watch WCW, to be honest. So I've known about Paul for a while. So, like, him getting inducted is well deserved for me. Like, and if I mentioned it before, I mentioned it again. Like, he deserves it. If anything, he should be like how Booker is inducted twice, as one as a part of a tag team and one as a solo. Like, Paul should be inducted twice. One for being over ECW and stuff like that, and then one for being Wise Counsel Wiseman. Like, cause two entities, even though, and then how he got his start. Like, I was reading, I think that he started just by taking photos, and then like worked his way and talked his way through the ranks and stuff like that. Like, that is crazy. That's amazing too, though. Yeah. So then he left. Then I saw that vest, and I was like, I was so distracted by the song and stuff that I didn't even pay attention to the vest. and then after the song, it was his teeth. Cause y'all know I love good teeth. Like, teeth is it for me. Like, when people be like, "What's one physical attribute that you notice?" Like, when you first meet someone, the first thing for me is like, when you approach me, if I think like you're attractive or whatever, it would be like your face. I would have to see what you look like if you smile. If I get around you and you never smiling, to me, you're either an angry person or something like that in my mind, or you don't have good teeth. Like, I don't know, when I became a teeth person, but I've been a tea person for a while. Because my son's father was like, "You wanted to talk to me when I first met you," and I was like, "No, I did not." I was like, "What attracted me to you more, because I thought you was okay, was when you smiled." Like, so I'm always, but yeah. So then he left, right? And I was like, "So is Roman coming out or no?" Because it is close to WrestleMania. But I wasn't surprised not to see him. Um, I low key wish he was coming here on Monday because, yeah, it would have been nice to see that in person. So then after that, it was, Jesus, I'm trying to figure it out. Was it the tag team match? It was LW Otoro De Cruz and Joaquin versus Angel and Alberto. And I found that interesting that was the matchup, only because they have the beef already. So to have them match up for a qualification to me seemed a little off, weird. I I feel like they would save that for like when they have LWO versus Legado del Fantasma. Like have them, like have LWO versus um the New Catch Republic, and then have like Pretty Deadly versus um Legado del Fantasma. Like save that match for something else. But it was a good match overall. And then once LWO lost, I was like, they're gonna beat the hell out of them. And they start going, and here come Carlito. I say, yep. So Carlito come out. Then Ray's music played, and I was like, I got excited because I forgot he came back. Like my memory, y'all. Like I when I was in my late teens, like in college, 20s, in my early 30s, I was like, why people got assistants? But now that I'm in my mid 30s and I got a child and got stuff, all the stuff with him going on and stuff with me going on, I totally understand why people got assistants. Because I forgot he was back. So then I was like, I was like, wouldn't it be crazy if him and Santos had a match? And then Ray announced it. Because I was like, at first they fought against each other to qualify for the U.S. title. They were alliances. I said, now they're not. So that'll kind of be interesting to see. So we're going to see that next week, right? And then what else? The glare in my glasses is crazy. So then oh my god. So then after that, it was the short promo. No. So then I think Kayla was Solo had held Paul back from him. I was looking down tweeting. And Kayla had asked Jimmy about the challenge Jay gave him. And he was like, before all of that, he was like, you were my little brother first. And he was like, I raised you. And I was like, oh, I raised him. And then he was like, of course I accept your challenge. I said, ooh. I said, I want to know what the rules for this match is going to be like. And is their brother going to be, their dad going to be like the ref like they wanted? And where is Jacob? Like, is their cousin coming to the thing? Like, will their uncle be a breath? Like, we don't know. It's so many people that have been a part of WWE that's part of their family. Anything could happen at that match. That's what I'm excited about, because you don't know. Like, even though it's in 3 weeks, anybody could pop up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, his uncles, his dad, his cousins, anybody. Literally. Okay? Tamina could come out there and break it up. Daggone Lance, freaking Jacob, Zilla, Rikishi, Tonga, like anybody. Like, you don't know. We don't know. Like, that's what I'm like. I'm just trying to, like, that's the only thing, like, the piece. We got the match. what happens after what happens during the match? Like, that's what I want to know. Then it was the promo with LA Knight. We got to see him talking about AJ Styles. So when he's like, AJ won't even come out against me, something, I said, he gonna come out behind him and attack him. They was like, you Napoleon Styles, you got a show press conference. I said, not Napoleon. And then AJ came in and attacked him with a chair and then sat on him and was like, I accept your challenge. I said, now what the hell has AJ been doing in the, like, this man been spending 7 days a week in the gym. Like, he's sleeping there because why his arms all right here is like super brolic. And his hair got longer. So I was like, of course, the longer the hair, the more heel he is. Because what is happening? What is happening? Okay. That, and then it was, I was like, that's going to be an interesting match. So I was like, are we going to get TNA versions of these people? Okay. Like, are we going to get, people are saying, well, not people, but people were talking about how it was this clip on, I think, YouTube of AJ having the Money in the Bank briefcase, and there was no ladder on him, and he had to fall. And somebody was like, it reminded them of something from TNA. So they were like, that version of AJ Styles A1. And it's like, are we going to get that version? And somebody was like, the Eli Drake version of LA Knight was good too. So I was like, they was like, so I'm like, okay, are we getting both versions? Eli Drake and AJ Styles version on TNA? Because if that's their better versions, I know that everybody's older now, but if they bring that type of entertainment to WrestleMania, that's gonna be dope. Okay. So then Grayson come out with Theory, and I forgot he had a match. So I'm like, who does he have a match with? And it's I'll put these back on. It's Randy. Okay. So first of all, I don't like that gear that Grayson wears. I don't know. It gives me like something I put my son in when he was like 4. Or like he's going to warm, like that's what he wears before he goes to a boxing match or something. Like, I don't know if it's a jacket. I think it's a jacket. So I don't know, but I personally don't like it. Now everybody else might love it, but I don't. I'm just saying. Excuse me. So yeah, so then what was funny was before that I found it was funny because Logan had went up to Nick and he was like, so what you gonna give Randy a fine for what he did last week, this, that, and the third? And it was like, and then Logan standing next to Nick. Nick is big as hell. You hear me? You could tell he used to wrestle. If you didn't know he wrestled, you knew he did some type of sport. Like, when I say big, like broad shoulders, he looked like underneath that suit is nothing but muscle. Like, part of me, when Logan be talking to him, just want him to like hit him with a wrestling move right quick. Just let us see. Cause I'm like, bruh, like that's a lot. Okay. So, yeah, so I'm like, that's crazy. So then they have the match, of course. Logan comes out. They showed a clip of him talking about SummerSlam being in Cleveland, which I know, because I get the freaking emails, okay? Like, I got the emails about SummerSlam being in Cleveland 2 weeks ago, just like the Money in the Bank package. Trust and believe me, okay? If I had the money to take me and my son to Money in the Bank, matter of fact, that's what he said. If I wanted to spend the money to take my son and I to Money in the Bank, I most definitely would, because I would have never been to Toronto and I would love to go to Toronto. And we have passports. But I don't want to do that. Like, that's too much. money. And we're going to see them twice in North Carolina in 2 months. So whatever. But I was just like, so then they fought, of course. When first production, okay? Production. Y'all come out. Randy come out. I looked up right quick. That daggone Viper's doing like this. I was like, what the hell is going on? I said, production. Like, y'all doing y'all thing right there, okay? But y'all gotta warn it, okay? Because that thing scared me for like 3 seconds. I had to realize where I was at for a second. Because I legit, like, got done tweeting something. Looked up, the snake was there gonna stare me in the face. I said, what the hell? So then came back, they matched. The match was good. Grayson kept getting slammed on his back on the thing. Of course, Logan come down, put the headphones on. Austin trying to get the crowd clap for Grayson. Dad going, Logan telling him to get up, whatever. Randy wins. So Randy wins. I said, watch KO come out. They jump him. KO comes out. His music plays. So Logan and Grayson gets out of the ring. My man, Theory is always the last person standing. He always the one that got to take the hit. He done got stunned and RKO'd in the same time. Somebody tweeted, was like, what kind of house show stuff is here? I said, he was like, I said, okay. I said, they cook and they entertain. I'm here for it. Like, if this is the kind of carrying on that they do in the house shows, along with like the girls running around the ring before they get back in the ring, and then the superstars interacting with the fans, I need to go to a house show. And I've been saying that for the past almost 2 years that I've been watching. Because I was like, we done been to live events. You know what I'm saying? We done been to Smackdown and Raw. We done been to 2 Smackdowns and 1 Raw. We're going to Raw on Monday. And we're going to Raw again in May. Like, I want to see a house show. And I think they had one last year in May in Fayetteville. And I last minute found out about it. Because I would have went, that's like, what, an hour 15, hour 30 minutes away from my house. So, and then when they had one in Fairfax, I was going to go. And I'm like, it's at George Mason. Like, when I was growing up, we used to have field trips at George Mason. Okay? I used to have a get on the bus, Fairfax County, and one of the field trips was like to a courthouse and a jail. We start learning about the judicial system. But like, had to go to George Mason for like symphonies and stuff. And so I knew where it was at. And I could have went and stayed at a family member's house, but I was like, I ain't driving that far. So that was like crazy. I was here for it though. And I was like, poor that. Oh, I forgot. And I was saying that wasn't LWO versus Legado del Fantasma that Ray had came out. It was when it was Dragon Lee versus Santos, and then Dragon Lee lost. That's the match that was cut short. But I'm pretty sure it was another match that didn't even make it on TV. I'm pretty sure. But I was like, man, come on, Dragon. I got Dragon winning it. He didn't win it. And I was saying about LWO, and I was like, I didn't see them winning anyway, because they're in a qualifying match NXT for the tag team titles. And I'm like, y'all in 2 qualifying matches. So not unless like WWE gave y'all the green light, be like, all right, we're gonna let y'all advance in both. I didn't see that happening. Like, I could see them advancing in NXT one, but I didn't see it happening for WWE. It'd have been nice though. I ain't gonna hold you. It would have been nice. But yeah, so then I think the tweets is going around about Dakota, and then how she was in the shadow and stuff like that, and looked up to Bayley and stuff like that. So I was like, ooh, okay, all right, that's what we doing, okay, that's what we doing. um, and then what's after that? I think today's gonna be short because like last week, I fell asleep for 40 minutes before the Smackdown came out, and then I set luckily my alarm goes off at 7:59, and I woke up. But I've been exhausted the past 3 days. Like, I don't know what it is the last 2 weeks, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but I'll be in bed and won't go to bed till like 2. Couldn't go to bed, but be in bed, didn't have to wake up. Then my body decides it wants to wake up by itself when my alarm goes off, which pisses me off. Because I'm like, one thing about me, a couple things about me, I'm not a morning person for one. Like, I talk enough to my son, I wake up. He wakes up, I tell him good morning, give him a kiss, whatever, breakfast, make sure he's situated, stuff like that. We talk, we pray, have a good day at school, whatever. Don't talk. Then it's just me. But even for him, like, I've never been a morning person. Don't talk to me before 10 o'clock. Like, I'm not, I'll say hi to be polite if you say hi to me, but I'm not really engaging like that. Like, the morning routine with my son and I is autopilot. Like, I could literally do it in my sleep. You know what I'm saying? I can't. So I was mad as hell. Like, I woke up and it wasn't even like a long time before my alarm went off. It was like 20 something minutes. But I could have been asleep for them 20 something minutes. I was pissed off. Like, that just worked in my soul. So I've been tired since I woke up. Literally. So that sleep, like me falling asleep as soon as I got in the house was not shocking. But yeah, so then it was the new the new Catch Republic versus Pretty Deadly. So of course they do what they do. Y'all know I love Pete. I love the finger thing. You know what I'm saying? And the matches was pretty steady both sides. But then when Corey had said, y'all gotta remember, excuse me. When he had said, yeah, you remember that situation with Pretty Daddy? He said, and Elton Prince was in a wheelchair a couple weeks ago. I immediately started bust out laughing. Like, to me, my mind automatically went to that promo of how he was in a wheelchair for a couple weeks for his arm. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Okay? Like, that cracked me up. It's still to this day, okay? To this day. It's like stuff like that. Like, I love stuff like that. Speaking of, like, I'm here for Nick's Aldis's dry humor and sarcasm. So he came out with the mic and was like, did you get Randy to apologize? I was like, okay. And then he said, oh, I got an idea. And Logan looking at him like, he's like, it's going to be a triple threat match between you, Randy, and KO for the belt. And then Randy was looking at KO like, are we cool? You about to be my op in a couple weeks. You know what I'm saying? But them two are still respectful of each other. My original thought was just going to be him and Randy. But putting KO in the mix is going to make it more interesting. I also feel like Grayson and Theory are some way going to squeeze their way into that match. I don't know how. I'm going to eat my son's fruits next. But it's going to happen. Okay. And then, yeah. So the finger thing. Then Tyler does that airplane thing. And I say, first of all, the fact that he can do this every time is amazing to me, okay? I was like, just the fact that he could do that without getting dizzy. I said, I'm getting dizzy watching him. I said, then you got somebody on your back and you spinning that many times. I would have dropped the person or would have been ready to throw up or something. Because there's no way in hell I'm be able to do that. They won, though. I'm happy that they won. I really hope that if nothing else, I still feel like Judgment Day gonna lose their titles. So whoever wins, I hope that is well deserving of them. Like I see the Creed brothers maybe winning because they went to Duke, which I love their basketball team. And they were like undefeated when they went. And I could see New Day gaining their championship back. I could see Pete and Doom getting one because even though he was part of the Brawling Brutes, I don't know if he's gotten a tag team title while he was with the Brawling Brutes. And when is Sheamus coming back? That's another question. Is he still with WWE? Did he like sign a contract? He wasn't coming back. Him and his wife was focusing on like having a child or something, or they got a baby, or was he injured, or what? Like, what's the deal with that? Because I've been asking for like a year. No, it ain't been a year, but it seemed like a year. It's been 6 months, right? When did he have that match with Edge? What was that? September? No, it couldn't have been September. It might have been September. I don't know. But that's the last time we saw him, okay? I don't know. And then, well, oh, y'all. So my son's package came in today. Got his name on it. I forgot to put his name on it. He is so excited. Okay. He got a Yeet shirt. Y'all know he is a Jey Uso fan down. Like to the point where he makes his own character on WWE. He has 2K20, 22, and 23. His personal character's name is LJ Uso. I gotta show you him doing the shirt, okay? Here. Okay, doing the reveal. What we doing, dude? What is it from?
WWEshop.
Does it say to Lawan Winfield?
Yes.
Yep. To Lawan Winfield Jr. It say Junior on there too?
Yes.
Wow. They told me it wasn't coming to the 19th. I was nervous. I was like, Raw is on that Monday the 18th. We ain't gonna need it. Okay.
Yeet.
Yeet. Okay. No. What mommy say? No yeet. I've been begging for this shirt for a minute. Men's shirt. Yeet. So, of course, you know, because I've been asking for this shirt since October, right? I had to get this, okay? I still think the note should have been like this, made out in Samoan tribal letters. But we're wearing those on Monday, okay? Like, he is super excited. Super duper 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 excited. You know. So he loves him down. Okay? Like if I told him he had unlimited money to go in the WWEshop, he would have got that. He would have got something from New Day. He would have got something from Alpha Academy. He got something from Street Profits. And I think probably maybe Seth, like the replicate belt. And I had it in my cart for a second, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna put it back. Okay? Because I was like, if they got it when we get to the PNC, I'll probably consider it or get it. But I was nervous because I placed an order for these shirts last Sunday. On Sunday. So when I did it, it was like, it could say 3 to 7 business days. So I was concerned. So once it was like, your stuff is shipped, the estimated day is going to get here is March 19th. And I was like, it can't get here March 19th. Like, Raw is the 18th. I'm not going to really, so I said I need it before the 18th. Came today. So I'm ecstatic. Okay. And then, so then the whole situation with Bayley comes out. I still want her storyline to be more in depth. Like, we have people in WrestleMania that aren't even main eventers that is not in depth with. And I'm not understanding this whole concept in part because because it's like, how many main events you gonna have each night? That's what I'm thinking. So somebody has said there hasn't been a main event since Sasha and Bianca. So people like me, it's like Rhea and Charlotte and they was like, the one lady was like, she don't count it as a main event. She counts the main event as it being the last show of the night. And I was like, I understand what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get that. Because when they said we were having 2 main events that night, I was confused too. Like, but I was like, but based off what they classified it as, I was like, Rhea and Charlotte, and then what was it, Oscar and Bianca had main evented before the cousins, all 3 of them main evented after them. And I was like, to be honest, which I say all the time, Rhea and Charlotte could have closed the night because their match was so good. I forgot that the Usos had the match after them. Like, to be honest with you, like, I really forgot until they came out. And they came out Lil Uzi Vert. And I was like, oh, snap, I forgot. Because I was about to cut the TV off. Like, that match to me was top tier. Still the best match at a PLE. Nope. My top 3 matches in the PLE for WWE the past year and a half. Okay. A couple of other ones would have been the Cody and Jay one, only because I didn't think it was a good match, but I didn't think he would get a tag team title outside of him being with his brother. Okay. The one at Money in the Bank last year with them versus Solo and Roman, just because of he hasn't pinned him. Like, I think they said Jay was the last person to pin him before he became tribal chief, and he was the only person to pin him while he's tribal chief. Also, the fact that because they said technically Seth won the match, but it didn't count, disqualification, something like that. So, but prior to those matches, the match with Damien was in his bag last year with the street fights. Like, he could have, him and Bad Bunny could have closed out Backlash last year, which they should have. Okay, for it to be in Puerto Rico and y'all have him host it and wrestle in it, y'all should have had him close it out. Like, I get Roman as a tribal chief, but y'all should have had him second last match. Like, I didn't understand that at all. Like, to me, that made no sense. Okay, that match 8. Okay, and then the joint with him and Finn versus Sammy and KO. In Pittsburgh. Was it Pittsburgh? Was Fastlane? What was Fastlane? Indianapolis, right? That joint 8 too. Okay, them, and then the daggone Elimination Chamber last year with Montez in it. He showed out. Okay, now watching Love and WWE, we understand why his mama was there. He had to show out. And what and who else? But like, the women been showing out. Okay, to me, the women have been showing out just as much, or if not better than the men. Because some of the matches, like during the years, I be like, or throughout the like last 2 years, I be like, okay, it was okay. Then the women come out, I be like, okay. Like, if we gonna be honest, I would say last year's Survivor Series was about neck and neck. 2022 Survivor Series. With 2023 Survivor Series, I would say the women won. The only thing that made 22. This year's for the men's one's good. Kinda is Seth and Cody work together with Jay. All of them had like were enemies at one point, and of course Randy came out. But outside of that, like the women had that best match of the night, hands down. Like, so with that being said, like, is WrestleMania going to have 3 main event nights? Because you already talking about the first night, the tag team is the main event, but you got 2 women titles. So what are we doing? Are we having 3 main events that night? And if we are, because somebody was like, Bayley has earned her stripes. Bayley is a then she helped with the women's division so much, she should main event the night. And I totally agree. And that's when it came up, and it was like, nobody has main evented. And I was like, I agree with that. Totally agree with that. And the fact that they're not doing her story justice to me irks my nerves. And the fact that she wasn't even on the poster irked my nerves. But she should be main event. Like, if they had to choose one woman, if it was only 2 for that night and they had to choose one woman, it should be Bayley and Io, off the strength of Bayley. It should be Bayley Mania. Like, Rhea had her thing at EC in her hometown. You can be one in the middle or towards the end, but let Bayley do it if it's only one woman. If not, let the tag team match, not be the last match. Like, if y'all gonna have the men on defend both of their titles on night 2, let that match be before Rhea and Becky, and then at the end have Bayley and Io come out. Like, let it be like that. Because why do we need them to main event both nights? Like, that makes no sense. That just lets us know that in the industry that's trying to evolve, or we're trying to get to evolve, is still holding women back. Like, if the main titles are supposed to be main evented, let them be main evented. Like, the tag team situation doesn't have to be the main event. Like, change that around. Change that around. That makes no sense to me. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I don't know. I want to say night 2, the women's tag team match. The women's tag team titles are going to wrestle. If it's every title on the line for tag team, for WrestleMania, that means the women's tag team titles is going too, right? So if that's the case, I would have the women's tag team for night 1. I would probably have the women's tag team title open up, right? And then have trying to think of what titles is all because I would want the women to open up and close night 1. So I would have the women's tag team titles for the first night, right? And then if we was having a mixed tag team match, I would have Bobby and them versus the Final Testament, including Beef. Beef have all them. Final Testament with Scarlett. That would be the second match. Okay. Third match would be how many matches each night? 6. I want to say the third match would be Jimmy versus Jay. And then I would have The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody and Seth. And then the 5th match would be Rhea versus Becky. And then closing out would be Bayley and Io. Night 1. Then night 2 would be, not unless you want a woman. If you want a women's match on the second night, then I'll switch to tag team women's opening for the second night. And then for the first night, have like AJ versus LA night. But if not, the second night would be AJ versus LA Knight, right? And then I would have, I feel like I'm missing something. LA versus AJ Styles. And then I would have oh no, I think I'm not missing them. And then I would have Gunther and Sammy, right? Then I would have the triple threat with Randy, KO, and Logan. And then I would have that ladder 6-man tag team jump. Then I would have Seth, and then I'll close out with Seth and Drew, and then I would close out with Roman and Cody. But now I'm thinking like I would want the first night to be women empowered, but we need a women's match on the second night. So yeah, I'll probably replace. Yeah, I will probably replace. I would probably move some stuff around. But if that's all 6 matches, I'm including the Bobby and them match. I'm not sure if that's gonna be a match, but I think it's only like 1 match left. If we include all the titles, I feel like I got all the titles right. Like US, the Intercontinental, the Undisputed Tag Team, the Women's Tag Team, both of the women's titles, both of the men's titles. It'll probably be only like 1 space. So let like Bobby and them versus the Final Testament should be WrestleMania. Like Bobby is PLE bound all the time, okay? Montez, after the situation in WrestleMania last year and then Elimination Chamber, he is PLE bound, okay? All the time. To me, okay? They ain't gonna show out. They gonna give you a show, okay? Because that's the only thing I was upset about, like it being imperfect. So I was like, if it was in the States and I knew Bobby was gonna be in that, I would have bought a ticket. Like his athleticism is crazy. That was a hell of a match. Like I made my son watch it. Like we watched it together. He went upstairs, play his game, ain't finish it. So finished. We got all the way to the end, like halfway to the men's match. So he didn't see the men's match. I made him watch it. Like you got me back into wrestling. You gonna watch it? Cause I'm like the highlights don't do it justice. Like you need to watch the match, okay? So yeah, like I would probably tweak some stuff, but if anything, if we're gonna have both of the men's matches one night, we need both of the women's matches the night before. Like I feel like, and of course the tag team should be before that. So that would make the other tag team qualification undisputed will be on night 2. Like that makes sense to me. But then it's like, what do you do with the other matches? I don't know who's gonna be the last match. I hope it's Bobby and them, but we don't know. It might just be 5 matches one night, 6 another. But normally I think it's 6 and 6. So I don't know. I don't know who it would be because I feel like Bianca's gonna be in WrestleMania. I don't know what she would be in WrestleMania for, not unless she qualifies to be like a tag team person with Liv or Jade or Naomi or Michin or something like that and fight against the Kabuki Warriors. So they might not even have Bobby in them. They might have another women's match, which I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm all for the girls. But I just don't know what the last match. I just assumed it was Bobby and them because of the chemistry and the storyline build up. So for me, that would be like the perfect thing. Now, unless y'all want to cut out 20 minutes of a Smackdown night and let them do their thing. But I think that's what it's gonna be. Okay. I watched Raw too on Tuesday. I actually watched it on time. And then I watched NXT, and that Kiss with Trick and Lash threw me for a while. Oh, and Wade, here's what I was gonna say. Wade, I'm gonna need you to watch Hustle and Flow. Because they were saying, whoop, that Trick. When Bayley came out, he saw they giving the homage or whatever he said to Trick. And I was like, nah, dog. I was like, they're in Memphis. Before Trick had that was from Hustle and Flow, which was based in Memphis. Like, we need to get you up on your pop culture. Okay? Second of all, love Bayley's gear. Y'all, when they came out, I was like, 3 things. I said, Damage Control changed their music up a little bit. So the person that was singing or rapping on top of it is not, their voice isn't as heavy. It's a little lighter. Like, 2, Oscar gets her life, okay? Every time they come out to her music, she's dancing. She don't care who's around her. She's getting her entire existence of life, okay? And then I was like, as of lately, I've loved Dakota's hair and gear. Like, y'all know, I always talk about hair mostly. I will talk about the look as long as the whole wrestling and all that. And to me, the bangs look good on her. I love the fact that it's black and then you have accents of color. And I was like, oh, she ready. Like, she was stretching, she was running. I said, I don't know who her PT is, but they did that, okay? But then when she ended up getting jumped, Bayley ended up getting jumped, I said, watch Jade or Naomi come out. Here comes Naomi. It's weird calling her Naomi again. Like, I'm so used to calling her Trinity. Like, at first when I was watching, when LJ first started watching, and I think we started watching Raw on Hulu, Total Divas came up on my Hulu, and I started watching that. So I think at the beginning they would separate, they would show some backstage stuff like that. Sometimes it'll be Naomi, and then sometimes they'll be like the girls will call Naomi, and then they start calling her by her real name. So I was used to it, or they'll say Trent or something like that. So then I was watching that, but she wasn't on WWE. So then when she went to TNA, because I was going to say Impact. But when she went to TNA, they, if you don't have a copyright of your name, WWE own all of that. So they was calling her by her real name. So when she came back, it threw me. Because I was like, who the hell? Like, I had to, like, even now when I be tweeting, and I was like, oh, I like Naomi's gear. And I was like, and I love Trinity's hair. And I was like, and people that don't know her name probably think I'm talking about 2 different people. But I'm like, my brain is not processing her WWE superstar name because I'm so used to them calling her by her real name. Like, I don't know. Like, with her husband, it's not that bad because even though she called him like Jerdy on there, and people, they call him like John on the show, like watching Up Up Down Down, they say Jim, or they call him by his game name, which was he had changed it. I forgot what he changed it to. Oh, Mark Jimry. I forgot what it was before that. I forgot what it was before that. So it's not hard for me to like switch over to 2 with him. But for her, I'm more so used to the Trinity or the trend that Naomi throws me. So yeah, but I watched Monday. So I watched the fight with Liv and Becky. I didn't know it was 5 years since they wrestled against each other. That was a good match, okay? Rhea coming out was crazy. And then Nia attacking them in the back with the clothes and the gear. I was like, okay. I said, so who she got a match with next week then? I was like, is it going to be a triple threat match? Is it going to be a handicap match? Because you attack both of them. Like, what is happening? Okay? The whole Candiace LeRe, Maxine thing, people were all the rage about, oh, she brought up her brother and stuff like that. He passed away, which condolences to him. I'm not being insensitive to that. But if it was brought up in the ring, 8 times out of 10, because I'm not going to say 9, 8 times out of 10, it was discussed. Like, I know certain situations weren't discussed, like when Seth and Riddle had their little altercation and they was beefing for real. So Seth brought up like Riddle's wife and kids and stuff like that, and that wasn't discussed. So, but then that whole then that's when I got excited, because that's when Jay had announced it, going up against his brother. He's like, I'm gonna whoop you. But you know what else I thought out when Jimmy did his segment is after he said it, he was like, yeet, and he said it loud, and I was like, and they did a close up on the camera, and I was like, he about to say no yeet, and he ain't say it. I was surprised. But like, that was crazy. And then that's when they announced the 6-man tag team ladder match on there, Adam and Nick, in which my son would be excited because you get to see Akira and Otis versus New Day. My son wants the New Day to win, and then you see Miz and R-Truth versus, I don't know, I forgot who they wrestled, but he wants them to win. And then I think it's DIY versus Creed Brothers, and we're going for the Creed Brothers. So that's crazy. But people are like, oh, that's crazy, some. And then the fact that Indy, I think, knocked out Ivy now, which is crazy to me, because her strength, for her to be so small, she is strong, okay? They don't call her the pit bull or something like that for nothing. Like, she got Eve's name. You know what also threw me is the fact that Jay is bringing back 2005, okay? First of all, I done seen them glasses or something similar. Like I said, I watch Up, Up, Down, Down. We watch them play, like Tekken and stuff. And them glasses. But then he drew on them, Jay Uso, and I was like, oh, so we being like Soulja Boy. Like, Crank That. I said, that's exactly what it reminded me of. 2005, Crank That Soulja Boy. Like, he brought it back, okay? And then Seth trying to get Drew to hit him. Rhea was talking about Becky trying to convince herself that she's the best and she better be 100%, which I concur with. Like, a great wrestler wants you to be at your best. Anybody that's great in the sport wants you to be at your best. So that way, if I beat you, you can't say, oh, well, you only beat me because I was this or I was hurt. No, I beat you because I'm better. Okay? Period. Okay? So then, what else? So, I'm trying to think off memory in my head, because this was 4 days ago. 4 days ago. Can't think of nothing. What I do remember from the Candiace situation is, I didn't watch it because it didn't show up on Hulu, but I watched the clip, like the segment of it. To me, it wasn't the fact that her brother was brought up. To me, it was just deadpan silence. That's what it was. Like, with the audience, and this been said numerous times, that you either want them cheering or booing. The fact that they were quiet spoke volumes, and I think they were like me, because I was partially confused, like, what is happening? And then I was like, this is random. Also, is Cedric and Adonis going to do the tag team thing after WrestleMania? Because they didn't have promos of it. Nothing's happened yet. Okay? Are they one of the 6 tag teams that's going to be qualifying for a tag team title? Because if it is, I'm excited. Okay? Here for it. I don't remember who the 6 were for Smackdown. And do they have 6? Are y'all just putting it together? Okay? And then the Kabuki Warriors have fought. Who the hell did they fight? Shoot. And I watched it too. I can't remember who it was. I can't remember. Oh, it was Zoey and Shayna. I think that's who they fought. And Zoey and them, like, first of all, it's this woman on the side of the stage. Okay, I think they were in Dallas that night. Her commentary is so loud. I think when Seth was doing his promo with Drew, I could hear her. So then when by the way, Liv looked great. Becky looked great. Love the production did Liv's thing. Okay. Here for it. Like Liv is, I always say, is always one of my favorites because she's a wild card. You never know what you're gonna get with her. And I think Ivar fought that night too, but I can't remember against who. Which I'm here for. Like, I love to see him working in his element because he's something that I did not expect, and I love it. Like, I did not expect him to be so versatile with the size that he is. And I guess that's how some of us underestimate him. People that are bigger, that are wrestlers, because we're like, oh, you can't do that, or they probably can't do that, or they might hurt themselves doing that. Not even just big, but being like certain people that are like super tall. You're like, if somebody that tall, you know what I'm saying? So the fact that he's doing like all of that is the doom saw and all that is like astonishing. Okay. And then Seth crying had me for a second. I'm such an empath. I had to, because he was like, Rock had forgot to mention my sister. And I said, yeah, because I said it's for them. Like, Dusty had 2 kids, and then he had 2 more kids, a boy and a girl, and then a boy and a girl. So when Rock said you had 3, I was like, it's a 4th one. And then when he said his sister used to dance for so I'm like, is he talking about the older sister or the younger sister? Because I didn't know which sister he was talking about. He's talking about your sister used to dance for the Cowboys. I can't stand that team, by the way. It's ingrained in me. Where you from? Whether those two are your teams. Where I'm from, the DMV, you're either a Cowboys or Redskins fan. If you're not, when they're playing, you got to pick a side, okay? Maybe 25% of my family are Cowboys fans. A lot, rest of them are diehard Redskin fans. Listen, I don't know the hell why. They ain't won a championship in 30 plus years. Y'all, okay? I don't even know why, okay? That's like being a Detroit Lions fan. At least their record is good, but they ain't never been to the Super Bowl. Like, I ain't even gonna get on that sport, but that's why I'm a Ravens fan, because it was the next closest team. It was the next closest team. And I wasn't picking neither one of those teams, but okay. But yeah, so that, and then him crying and talking about giving it to his mother, and then his baby mama, his wife, who's also the mother's child, being his biggest supporter. She was like, when he was a clown, I said, I guess when he was Stardust or whatever. Or no, when he was Don't Look at Me, I'm Ugly. Which one was it? When he said she started talking to him or whatever. I was like, okay. And I was like, I hope he win it. And then my first thought was, okay, so it's going to be a double turn, I feel like the second night when Cody pins Roman, or Roman pins Cody, the Rock is going to stop it. Yay. But then I feel like Seth somehow is going to stop the Rock, and Roman is still going to have the title, which is going to result in them doing it later. Some people were saying that he should do it Survivor Series, because that's one of the names of the PLEs that his dad came up with. and she get it. And then some people are like, no, it might be the other way around, that Seth will probably try to sabotage the match because he lost to Cody numerous times. You know what I'm saying? He's still a little upset about that. And then the fact that he beat Roman, even though he was disqualified. So he will want Roman to keep the title so that he can fight him for the title. And then The Rock ended up beating up Seth so that Cody can get pinned, which would cause Seth and Cody to have a beef. But Cody's still getting the title. I would say if Roman ends up retaining and Seth and Roman end up challenging each other for the title, then whoever wins will have both. But then it will have to quickly be broken apart. Like, okay, they have both, and then whoever they fight next will become the new title holder at like Money in the Bank or Backlash or something like that. So it could separate. Because the whole reason why Seth has the title he has now is to have one for Raw. So it makes no sense in him having both. Just like the titles have been unified with WWE for the men for 2 years almost. Like, are we going to break them apart? Or are we just going to have one title again? Because if we're going to have one title again, are we going to go back to the black with the copper in the middle? Like, what are we going to do? Like, are we going to have a belt that's half red, half blue, making it like one tag team belt, and then the silver in the middle, so that represents Raw and SmackDown, you know what I'm saying? And then someone was like, we need mid-card titles for the women, like how the men have US and Intercontinental. And I was like, that's cool, you know, the concept and everything, but at the same time, they have so many storylines going on in WWE that they have to get through the weeks, that people that aren't in storylines only fight in house shows 9 times out of 10. And then 2, that's all that's ever came for people like Zoey and stuff, because I'm like, she's real good, but we don't see her. Shotzi's out. There was like stuff like Naomi would be good with like a women's US title. But I'm like, when would she defend it? You know what I'm saying? It's not like she wouldn't qualify for it. We know she can hold the title now. It's the fact that they have so many storylines and stuff going on now during the cinema era that when was she defend it? Like, they barely defend the tag team titles. Like, I feel like now more so the women are defending the tag team titles now, the Kabuki Warriors, and it's more so on Raw versus like Damien and them defending theirs. Or like now Gunther and all of them defend their titles doing PLEs. Like, it's rare that they'll defend their title doing a regular Smackdown or Raw because there's so many storylines. Or they want to make it exclusive in that way. But that's why I rock with Seth, because he was like, I'm a fighting champion. Like, he'll fight you on the Raw show, he'll fight you on the PLE. Like, he don't care. For the title, he don't care. That's why I rock with him, okay? Do not care. Like, bring that back, okay? And yet, like, the cinema era is supposed to be like Attitude Era 2.0. Then we got to bring back the strong tag teams again. Because what drew me is, yes, I like Rock and Triple H and all that. The Chris Jericho's and Mankind and Undertaker and Eddie Guerrero and all that. But for me, it was a tag team. It was the Hardys, Dudley's, Christian Edge, Rock and Sock. I forgot what Undertaker and King called themselves. But like, when they were together, like, that's what it was for me. Like, I loved it. So when they had that first TLC match, which I had on tape, that was everything. Like, bring that back. If we're gonna do epic comebacks, like, bring the tag team division back. Like, it was up to a tier, you know what I'm saying, at one point, and then it just faded away. And KO was like, when they lost the titles, I think he said he felt like he didn't give the tag team division the juice basically that it had when like the New Day or the Usos had it. You know what I'm saying? And also because that's not the direction I guess that the company was going in. But and then it was who else was it? Then it was this Gautlet jump. Okay, so let me tell you. First of all, it was JD versus Ricochet. And I said, this is why Ricochet need to be on TV more. You forget how athletic and good some people are until they wrestle. Like, because just like what I said when Truth had came back and had his first match against JD, like, because he's so, like, plays a funny person on there, his persona and all that, that when he wrestled him, I said, I forgot how good of a wrestler he is. But when JD and Ricochet, that was a good match, okay? That was a great match. And then it ended up being Ricochet versus, was it Bronson? Bronson came out? Bronson, right? Yeah, I think Bronson came out. So, of course, you know, he's tired. Tired boots. Bronson comes out. Bronson wins. No. Yeah. Yeah, Bronson wins. So then Ricochet's out. So then after that, Sammy comes out. And this is the kicker for me. Okay? For me, I was like, if Ricochet or Sammy wins, I'm here for it. Because both of them used to be IC champs. I heard Sammy was a great IC champ too. Ricochet was a champ beforehand. I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? I think Chad should take it from him. But one thing I will say about Chad is he got to work on his facial expressions and stuff. Like he didn't, when they showed him at the end, I'm going to get to that. And Logan too. Because when they did a close up on him, he was like, oh no. Like, it didn't even sound believable. Like, we got to work on that. We got to work on it. Pretend like it's one of your old Vine skits or something. Like, get into it, okay? Because even though the adults know, some of the kids don't know. But they can feel that. So, he's like, oh no, match, stuff like that. I was like, so, I was like, what? In my Seth voice, what is happening? But, so, Sammy comes out and fights Bronson. This is why I was appalled and excited and just glued to the TV. First of all the lineups were great, okay? It was the fact for me that Sammy is celebrating Ramadan, okay? That means you're fast from sunup to sundown or 7 o'clock. So 9 times out of 10, if the show starts at 7:30 for the dark match, catering probably leaves about 6:30. There's nothing there for you to eat. So you go off fumes. And then you had to fight 3 people? 1, 2, 3. Hold on, was it 6 people in the gauntlet? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you had to fight. I'm trying to think of who I'm missing. Bronson. You had to fight 3 people. And then you come out and win. Okay. And then I'm like, then I don't know if he's still vegan or not, but he vegan. Ain't no vegan spots open like that. So not unless you DoorDash a vegan spot and then put it up. So then after your match, you can shower or do whatever and then go heat it up to eat. Like, that is crazy. To fight 3 people and win? That's like when Kyrie had that game a couple years ago and they did a press conference and he was sitting there eating a cup of noodles and he was like, it's Ramadan, he ain't ate. And I'm like, there's no way in hell I'm playing no game of basketball for no 60 minutes, probably playing 38 to 40 other minutes and ain't eat. Like, that's dedication, okay? Because I fasted before. And for me, the first day or 2 is the roughest. You hear me? Like, the first day or 2, your body's like, okay, so what is we doing? By day 3, for me, it gets like, okay, I know this is the time we eat. But when that time comes, it's like, I better have food in my hand. Okay? Then I'm good. Okay? For the next like 8-9 days. So like day 10. If I'm doing it for like 21 days, day 10 is the day that I crave sweets. That second week, like the first week I'm good. The last week I'm good. That second week be killing me. Okay? And I am a sweets girl. Like candy me, Gusher, even if it's not just candy, give me like some Gushers, some fruit roll up, fruit by the foot, something. And I'll take candy over baked goods. Now unless it's brownies or chocolate chip cheesecake. So the fact that he did all that was impressive as hell to me. Okay. It's like he's getting a redemption story too, because he hasn't had a title in a while. Well, no, he's a tag team title holder last year, but I mean like a singles title. He separated himself from KO. And he left and came back, and he was trying to figure out if he was going to be in WrestleMania. So that was the thing. But then for you to fight Bronson, tag him, right? Then him being mad and then tsunami on you, okay? And then Shinsuke is crazy as hell, and I love it. Like every time he come out, I'm like, he crazy as hell. And Karrion was like, he helped turn Shinsuke, he helped turn Drew. That's the people he dealt with. He helped turn AJ from a bad guy to a heel. And if this was the case, the result of all him messing with them, good job, okay? Because all of them, but Shinsuke crazy heel. And then he slow walk up to the ring while Sammy's getting beat up. Sammy does all of that. He loses. And I was like, he should have finished out with Bronson. But then come to think of it, I was like, if Bronson, he would have finished out with Bronson, 9 times out of 10, Sammy wouldn't have won that match. So then after that, he pinned Shinsuke. So then after that, him and I was gonna say Cable, Chad Gable go at it. Great match. Chad is like the new Kurt Angle. Okay, he gives him the ankle lock. I was like, there's no way in hell he'll be able to do what I said, Luva kick or the Blue Thunder Bomb with that ankle. He ended up doing it. I was surprised. Okay, he ended up doing it. The first move Chad did, I think, on Sammy was a German suplex. I was like, that is crazy. Like his athleticism. Okay, so then he ended up winning. He tagged Chad, but from when I looked, I was like, only his head and neck are down. Like his shoulders are still up. So I was like, is that going to be a triple threat match too? Because it looked like it. I give my mans another chance. Either give him another chance against Chad this Monday, or just make it a triple threat match. Okay. Number 2, Chad was in the ring like this. When they showed Sammy up close, I was looking at both. Chad was in the ring like this because he thought the camera was on him. And then they showed him up close and he gave him a handshake. Then they showed him, he's like, and I guess the camera person was like, it's on you now. But I'm like, your shock face, we got to work on your shock face. Okay. But like, Monday was good. That ending was great. People are upset that Sammy's getting a chance. I'm not, like, all the stuff that's happening with certain people, I'm not upset about. Like, I'm not upset about Drew versus Seth. I feel like Drew should get his WrestleMania moment because of COVID. He didn't have it in front of the crowd, but I don't think Drew should get the title. That's just my opinion. The whole situation with Rhea and Becky, I was saying that for like a year and a half ago, and I was like, we need a Rhea versus Becky. And then they were showing them fighting each other during house shows, I think. And I think one of the house shows, I think was I think I seen Ladders or something, and it was Seth and Becky, and it was Dom and Rhea or something like that. And then so I'm not mad about that. Then the whole Sammy situation, and I was like, I remember once all the videos, Sammy had a haircut, he was an IC title champ, whatever. I was like, I heard at that time he was like helping people out at the PC train, and then from what I saw him helping someone on these, I was like, oh, he real good. Okay? I'm not mad at that either. Like, I'm not mad at none of them. The only thing I was mad about was about the Bayley situation, because she's not getting exposure as some of the other people. She's not even getting the exposure, of like Logan and them. And then the only other person that might not be getting as much exposure is the whole Gunther situation. But like Logan and them is getting more exposure. Like, it's not. I'm not happy about that. But so I'm just waiting. I'm excited for Monday. We'll see what happens. I think we go to Raw again in May. I think it's either before Backlash, right after Backlash. Either way, I'm happy. Because normally after a PLE, it takes about a week and a half for all that to die down before they start something else to start the new PLE. So either way, we're going to be in a good midst of it. Hopefully when I go to that one, Greensboro's a good crowd. I've never been to a Greensboro event. I have to redeem myself in Charlotte. I should have went to the Smackdown in Charlotte in February, and it was nice. So that's how I know the stories and stuff that day were. But what time is it? Because I know it's probably 12 o'clock. It's 11:34. So I'm about to mash these stuff together. I'm about to retie my hair up. I just had to let her breathe for a second. Retie my hair up, and I shouldn't even eat this late because I don't want to deal with maybe possibly having acid reflux. That's the main reason why I don't eat this late. But I hope you guys have a great week, a great night. For those that are celebrating St. Patty's Day this weekend, please have a DD, get a Lyft, get an Uber, get a taxi, ask the police to take you home. Like, it's 2024. Nobody should get DUIs in 2024 with all these accessible apps to get a ride. Like, that's the one crime that's baffling to me, or the one crime and baffling to me. Like when they said Danny Lee had got a DUI last year and people was feeling bad for her, and I'm like, why? Nigga could have called anybody to drop her off. Like, if I knew I'm gonna be out and then I might say, all right, start drinking at 8 and I plan on leaving at 10, I'm gonna have a lift outside at 10 o'clock. Like, what? And if I'm too intoxicated, or I know I get lit like that, I'm bringing a friend, and by the end of the night, you better be sober so that we can get home. Like, or if you want to drink like that, drink water in between. That's the trick. Drink water in between, okay? Because when you take a shot, then you drink water, you'll pee all the alcohol out. You'll still be sober by the end of the night. Went to college, I know. And then before you go to bed, take Tylenol, chase it down with like a ginger ale or a Gatorade. That way you wake up with no headache, no stomach issues. Okay? I'm just saying, be safe and like be smart. But at my big age, I'm not drinking like that anyway. Anyways, love you all. Bye.